Look, I told you I wasn't stepping two. I ain't disrespecting you, son.
You want it to be one way.
What?
You want it to be one way.
Man, I
You
don't know
want it
what
to
you...
be one
Man,
way.
stop! Stop saying that.
But it's the other way.
This is one thing about me. I've been like this my whole life. And, you know, people like it, people don't like it. But I can be very, very, very fucking stubborn. Especially when I think I'm right. Especially when I know I'm right. Especially when I know I'm right and I have factual evidence to prove it and I can give you the evidence. You can't tell me shit. The numbers are right there. If I have something that proves it and it's right there and I will show you, you cannot tell me shit. I don't care what did you say. Now, does it work in my favor? Yes. When it gets to a point to where it gets results. Sometimes people are not going to like it, but it's not for you to like. And it's not going to hold you. I love them to death, but some of my friends are learning this the hard way. And I've always explained this to myself. Because there's sometimes I can be an asshole. Like, I always call myself a nice asshole, but sometimes when I get into a lot of debates with people, and sometimes it's just my opinion, and it's just some things where I'm just like, if I feel like it's wrong, I'll tweak it. If it's wrong, I'll change it. If I know it doesn't really do much, I'll change it. I've done it my whole life. But if I've done, like I told my friend, if I'd have done the research, and if I've been doing this and it's just gotten me more positive results than negative, because not everything's going to be 100% perfect, but let's just say if I get 8 out of 10, and I can say it works 80% of the time, you're going to take those chances. Now, if I do this and it only works 20% of the time, obviously, I need to change the ordeal. But if I'm telling you, like, I've sat there and done the research and, like, the way I've done stuff is like I've done 80% of the times and it's worked 80% of the times, then I don't have to change it. Now, again, there's some things that, and I've told people, and especially the way I talk to some people, because my friend just called me a piece of shit. I didn't take offense to it. If anything, I said, I know. I said sometimes especially when I know I'm right. Hell, even when I'm wrong, I said I can admit I'm wrong. I said, and then and then from there I tweak or change whatever it is. I'm not gonna get it right all the time. Hell, sometimes when I talk to you, I not expect you to like me at all times, especially if we're debating. Because and maybe it's just a competitive nature, but you're going to know what the hell I'm talking about, what I'm knowing, what I'm thinking, how I feel at that moment. And sometimes it's not pleasant. Sometimes it's not good to hear. Sometimes it's not good for your ears. Now, like, and if, you know, I'll be honest with you, if I think I've lost friends that way, I probably, because, like I said, it's not for everybody to like. Sometimes it's for you to learn. Maybe it's a little military. It's probably what the military taught me, because sometimes I've been chewed the fuck out. I had to sit there and take it. All right, don't do it again. My mama used to curse me the fuck out. Did she think everything she did was right? Maybe at that moment. But then, you know, now when she said realize it's wrong, she changed it. That's why, like, I don't get mad when, even though, like, hell, half the times, shit, my father, I've gotten beaten for no reasons. Or, like, I tell this story all the time. My father don't remember. Like, I think I was doing bad in English one time. My father made me read a Harry Potter book. Right? And I think it was Prisoner of Azkaban, if people want to know. I've never read a Harry Potter book before, so imagine reading a Harry Potter book, and I think Prisoner of Azkaban is like the third or fourth book in. Not knowing where the fuck I didn't even finish that book. Not a big Harry Potter fan either, but didn't even finish that book. Now, this was also during the time Harry Potter was coming out with the movies. And it was funny because The Prisoner of Azkaban was one of the commercials. And my father looked at that and, he was like, he didn't like what he saw. And he goes, it was funny because it was just like that. He was like, I ain't fuck with that witch shit or the wizard shit. I was like, I wouldn't, he was like, think out of me and my sister, this was a book before it was he was like, yeah, I'd never let y'all read one of that. And I looked at him. And I go, yes, you did. He don't remember, but I was like, yes, you did. I said, you made me read The Prisoner of Azkaban. I said, you literally gave me the book The Prisoner of Azkaban to read. He don't remember, and to this day, he don't remember. But I was like, I looked at him, I was like, what are you talking about? Yes, you did. To this day, he still don't remember. So, but like I've told everybody, especially with the way I debate, because sometimes I'm not here to, especially when I'm trying to get a point across, I don't care about your feelings sometimes. I really don't. Sometimes you just need to hear it. So if I think, especially like, I don't, because a lot of people is just like, I used to call people, I call this one dude a coon. I call him an idiot. And a person that I don't talk to no more, he was like, you can't be saying shit like that. I said, no, you're a fucking idiot, and I'm gonna tell him you're a fucking idiot. Especially when you're acting like a fucking idiot and a coon. He was just like, and I debunked him many of times. It's just so if he's acting like an idiot, he was like, yeah, but I don't get, he said something along the lines of, well, them calling him an idiot is not gonna make him like, I said, I don't give a fuck. I remember telling him that. I do not give a fuck. I said, plus, whether I talk to him nice or not, them niggas is not gonna change their ways. I personally, and then like sometimes, and I've done this with my friends. I said, there's times, and I told people this, I tell all my friends this, there's times you're gonna love me, there's times you're gonna like me. There are gonna be times you don't like me. And there's gonna be times you're gonna wanna punch me dead ass square in the face. And I am okay with that. But my feelings for you, but if I love you, my feelings for you not gonna change. And sometimes I'm just telling you like it is. Now, a lot of people say one of my friends, he always talk about my tone. And I know about my tone. I said, there's sometimes where I get impatient. I'm like, I ain't got time to be coddled. I don't have time to coddle. Probably because, again, this is the prior military. This is probably prior military. All that coddling shit flies out the window. Nigga, we in life or death situation. I ain't got time to coddle this shit. Get your dumb ass. I'm not one of them dudes be like, sit your dumb ass down. Like, I done calmed down from then because I realized like civilians don't know how to handle that military talk. So I have tweaked that. But most of the times, I'm going to tell you how the fuck I feel. Yeah, and the thing is, it's just like with my tone, and it's the same thing with Kevin Samuel's tone, and it's the same thing with a lot of people's tone. Sometimes it's not for you to fucking like. It's for you to learn. It's for you to listen. Because if I tell, especially if I tell you this shit work, then and I was like, if you do it this way, and then you still want to do it in your own fucking way, I'm like, all right, be a dumbass. Go to shit. When that shit don't work, you're gonna come back to me. And I'm gonna, Or it's just like, I know I could be, especially, again, when I'm debating, because I've had debates before, where I done proven my point, and I've given factual evidence, and then, all right, I'm gonna let you be stupid. And then you wonder why, and then there's sometimes where I'm giving people advice. Like I said, my homegirl, shout out to her, real LGBTQ ally sometimes and some shit like that. We got into it many of fucking times where she don't like what I say. I told many of my friends, I said, I don't give a fuck. And half the times I don't give a fuck because I need you to understand this. And then here's the thing where I want all my friends to hear this. Not everybody's gonna hold your hand. Not everybody's gonna coddle you. Not everybody's gonna give a fuck about your feelings. You're gonna have to learn how to deal with that shit. The military is an eye-opener. And that's the one thing I've always said about the military. It is a fucking eye-opener. You're going to learn how to deal with shit, especially if you come to me about shit. I am not here to, half of the times here, I am not here to cover you. I'm here to tell you what the fuck is wrong, and I'm here to tell you how to fix it, if you take my advice. Like, my homegirl, my best friend, when she always complained to me about a man, I was like, and I tell her, it's like, you know, and I keep telling her, every time you talk to me about this nigga, it's never nothing positive. When are you gonna break up with the nigga? Because obviously, you're not growing well with him. If anything, he's a fucking thorn in your side. And she hits me with the, I've tried. I said, you're not trying hard enough if this nigga is still your. I said, what is holding on to you? She don't fucking know. To me, I think she's scared. I think she's scared of the nigga. I hate putting her business out there. And this is, I hate putting her business. I'm not saying her name, but I hate putting her business out there. But in my opinion, she's scared of the nigga. Well, what he gonna do when he breaks up with her? Because he probably crazy in the fucking head. In which I told her, either break up over the phone or have some type of protection with you. Because if a nigga start acting up, you probably gotta have to handle that shit. But every time, because I understand that's how women die, because that's how domestic violence works. So I'm telling people to protect yourself. But also, I'm like, if every time you talk to me and there's nothing positive about this nigga, I'm going to stop looking at him. I'm going to then start looking at you because you're allowing it. Why are you allowing it? You know you can break up. And she was like, I want him to break up with me. He is never going to break up with you. He is getting what he wants out of you. He is not going to break up with you. You're going to have to do that job. And again, that's me saying that out of love. Most of the time when I say stuff, even if it hurts your feelings, I say it out of love. Because I'd rather you hear it straight. And sometimes, again, I don't have time to coddle. I really don't. I'm not coddling. This is what I feel like. It's like your mama could coddle me, and this is why I didn't have a problem with Kevin saying this tone. I said, I don't have time to coddle. It's like, I'm here to tell you what the fuck is wrong. He's like, obviously, and this is the thing with Kevin saying is when he talk about buy a dog down alone. He's like, obviously, what you're doing is not getting you a man. You come to me, you talk about how value, man. He's telling you not everything you're doing, what you're doing wrong. But it's just like, that's not going to get you a man. And yet you're still arguing with him because you want to be right. And that's what he calls, that's what became with sign language. Like shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. I'm not going to say I'm similar to Kevin Samuels because obviously I'm not an image consultant, but there's some things it's just like, I know you're going to have to do it this way. And some of my friends are like, they live in a world of anomalies. So they're going to do it their own way. I said, if it works for you, but if not, you're going to have to do it that way. You're going to have to. But I know I'm stubborn. I said, my friend called me a piece of shit. And I said, I know. Again, I've come to the conclusion with that. I said, but I still say, whatever I say it out of love. I've been like I said, I think this is the one thing that's not going to change because it's the one thing, it gets results. Sometimes it is fuck your feelings. And that's one thing a lot of my friends is going to realize. Fuck your feelings. Get the shit done. And again, that's the military. Like, there's been times where I wanted to punch my motherfucking petty officer. And it was like, but the shit needed to get done. So it was just like, you know what? Whatever. Let's just get this shit done. We talk about this shit later. And then shit get done. That's it. Some people are not going to like that. It's not for everybody. I tell people sometimes, I'm not for everybody. Oh, yeah. I tell people, I said, I can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And sometimes I know I will get on your nerves. I've gotten on people's nerves. I said, oh, I'm okay with that. If I'd have told you the many stories I got on like each and every one of my friends' nerves, or how I got on their fucking nerves, like you'd be like, God damn. But yes, I still do it out of love. I tell people I love you. I love hard. But because the reason I love hard is why I talk like this. Because sometimes I'm the nigga that's gonna take the titty out your mouth. I'm not here to. If I think you're doing something stupid, I'm going to tell you you're doing something stupid. I'm too old to coddle. I'm sometimes it's just like, and I used to do this to my brother. Like I said, I just explained this to one of my other friends, and I do this to my little brother. And I told him because he's mildly autistic, and he did something. Let's just say he just did something that my peoples didn't like. And I had to talk to him, and I cursed him and mildly autistic, and I cursed him the fuck out. And I said, I don't know if he's gonna remember this, but I said, this is gonna be a day. And I told my quote unquote son this, and I tell anybody, there's going to be a day. I'm not gonna be here. No one's gonna be here to save you. And they don't give a damn about your autism. They don't give a damn about your mental illness. They don't give a damn what the fuck you went through today. You're gonna be very, very, very uncomfortable. You're gonna have to learn how to deal with that. So with that being said, if you don't shape up or ship out, you're gonna be asked out sometime. But to me, God put you in uncomfortable situations so you can learn from them. So when you can make those uncomfortable situations very comfortable. So with that being said, my grandfather, 90 years old, still lectures me to this day. You know what I do? I sit there and listen. He is 90. He done lived 3 of my lives. You don't think I'm not going to listen to that man? My father, I still think, my father, who I look up to this day, has taught me the same way. And I feel like I'm the same way. It's just, maybe that's why like a lot of people don't like the way I deliver shit, because my parents and my grandparents deliver it the same way. And I'm the knucklehead in the family. So, maybe that's it. But I gotta go. Duty calls. So let me know what you guys think. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.